Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the daily general collective message for Thursday, March the 24th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This reading could play out today or over the next several days. This reading may or may not be for you, so please only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. I also do want to mention this reading is not sign specific, although I will call out any zodiac signs that I do feel need mentioning throughout the reading. Let's talk about some astrology aspects. Like always, first, we have a very powerful transit today with Mercury sextile the North Node. And what I was shown is a lot of karma is playing out in the energies, whether this will be a positive or negative manifestation. It's really going to depend on where you're at on your own transformation journey. And because the North Node is in Taurus, I do feel this transit is going to really affect those who are in that Taurus North Node. So, you know, I think this energy is kind of activating that spiritual nervous system when it comes to your cellular DNA. And this is going to respectively kind of alter your thinking patterns. So I think get ready for a lot of reactions, quick reactions, and it's like this expediting energy coming through. So many in the collective, your thinking patterns are drastically changing, and this really is uncovering a new pathway or a new doorway opening up to setting new goals, and quite possibly coming into this deep awareness of your spiritual mission this life. So I think get ready for a decision to be made when it comes to embracing this profound change. And I feel a lot of developmental energies coming through when it comes to these psychic realizations. So whatever happens in today's transit is not by accident. This energy is coming through so you can personally transform your life for long-term positive results. So get ready for unusual energies to surface when it comes to your own personal esoteric knowledge that we are kind of here to acquire and master this life when it comes to past life timelines. So this could mean maybe a new career path, setting new desires when it comes to who it is that you want to have a personal relationship. This really is change for the better, no matter how these changes come through, because this aspect is coming in asking us to release any inappropriate habits. And this really is a good time to be faithful to your self-development journey. So I feel get ready to negotiate in the energies when it comes to these changes. I do feel a lot of upheaval when it comes to personal environments and a lot of relocations when it comes to these energies. So I kind of feel this really is the perfect aspect to, you know, embrace these new energies, although it's likely to create a very severe degree of tension, especially if you're not ready to deal with this massive change that's coming in. So you might experience some mental health issues today, or, you know, any kind of health issues. Could be like a negative manifestation of this activation, especially when it comes to impacting your personal relationship. So it is likely going to be a very tense energy that many will be working with, especially when it comes to commitments and maybe needing to reject and reorganize, you know, things, people, places, and things that really aren't meant for you. And this is all going to correspond to your own energy. So whether this is going to be a negative or positive manifestation, it's really going to depend where you're at. But I also feel this is like a transit where you're being asked to face the negative consequences of any past poor decisions. So, you know, if you're not inclined to embrace change, and let's face it, Taurus is a very fixed energy, stubborn, doesn't like change. And the opposite of that Taurus is that Scorpio, and also a very fixed energy. So if you're not inclined to embrace these changes, you might miss out on these very fabulous opportunities that the North Node is presenting. So you don't want to miss out on embracing these new higher timelines. So I think we're all being asked to improve our communication skills in order to, you know, bring forward and release any obsessive compulsive behaviors. And not gonna lie, this transformation process is very painful because we're kind of removing all of these false beliefs of who we thought we were and changing and transforming our very existence, stepping into who we were always meant to be. So this can be a stressful time for many, and this transit is gonna be lasting for approximately 2 weeks to 2 months. So it's like this new karma is now kind of being determined, and it is going to directly affect you based on your own way of thinking, how you express yourself. And with Mercury in the mix here, Mercury is the Greek god messenger. So get ready to receive messages from your higher self with that Mercury aspect in Pisces, very dreamlike, illusionary energy. So you know, we are kind of being asked to disassociate with these old thinking patterns and to embrace a new way of thinking and doing in everything that we kind of choose to do moving forward. So the energy really is giving us a chance to activate our very high quality spiritual and mental capabilities and to master channeling these energies in the right direction. So we need to remember karma is what you put out there, whether that is good or bad. And so if we're going to build positive foundations in the present in order for positive future impacts, we're really going to have to take note of what kind of karma we really want to create in our lives. And then with the moon still in Sag, creating all of these transcendental energies and experiences, give me a second here. I kind of feel the energy really is asking us to utilize some common sense. We do have the moon in Sag today, again, sextile Saturn, and then later today it's going to form a square to Neptune, as well as a square to Mercury. So I feel it's kind of time to use common sense. I feel get ready for a lot of hallucinations in the energies with the moon square Neptune. And it's kind of this energy of where to go and why. So with the moon sextile Saturn, this is really going to bring forward this deep urge to be protective of your family and what you've built for a foundation. And we are kind of being asked to bring forward that compassion and care when it comes to any irrational displays of emotion. We are being encouraged to nourish and comfort ourselves. You might need a shoulder to cry on today, depending on your own personal situation. Many in this transit are going to feel very emotionally reserved. You might even want to avoid any social interactions today. But I kind of feel this really is a perfect time with all of these activations taking place to really share your deeper, more serious emotions with somebody that you are deeply connected with in the heart space. So I think commitment, loyalty, and family home are going to be topics of interest now when it comes to your own personal life and, you know, being responsible and, you know, carrying out those duties when it comes to your mission. So you might also feel like going to visit some ancestors at the cemetery, crossed on loved ones, is another big energy coming through. Later today with the moon square Neptune as well as square Mercury, this is going to create a lot of strange hallucinatory feelings and visions because the energy will be very extremely sensitive. And you're going to have to be careful of self-delusions when it comes to being deceived by friends, enemies disguised as friends. So it's kind of time to make that important decision based on, you know, the impressions that you're kind of getting through the energy. And if you are to create that happy and healthy home life, you have to kind of stop escaping reality through addictive behaviors. And because the energy can be very confusing, many will be vulnerable to deception and being taken advantage of, and you're going to need to recognize these deceitful people in your energy fields, So this can also trigger a lot of creative, imaginative energies and a lot of empathy coming forward in the energies. So because of many of us being extremely empathic, this might, you know, bring forward an experience of suffering when it comes to the intensity of these energies. So with the moon square Mercury, I feel this is going to create all kinds of inner tension, stress, and frustration when it comes to this need for this radical acceptance of this inner adaptation in order to rebalance the conflicting energies between your head and your heart. So conscious change is always going to be required if you are to finally overcome any conflict between that conscious mind and those very protective lunar node habitual patterns. So get ready to face consequences when it comes to past decisions, past judgment calls, and all of this unconscious energy is coming to the surface that we have absorbed since early childhood from our parents. And in order to embrace a new way of living, we kind of have to go into all of these conditions of the past to release that constant conflict between the head and the heart. So, decisions will likely be made according to whichever is dominant in these energies. If you're more in the head space, you're likely going to make a very logical decision. If you're more in your heart space, you're likely going to have very emotional reactions. So this inner tension is likely to mirror reflect to you all of your deep insecurities, where you've played into self-doubt. And this can be a very highly nervous energy coming through, and it's going to highlight disharmony in your life at the unconscious level. So this could also manifest as psychosis or psychosomatic illness, a lot of nervousness coming up. And I kind of feel this really is to get us to release ourselves from any self-centeredness or, separation anxiety. So, we can't keep relying on these fixed attitudes because a lot of these beliefs were programmed and they're no longer working as we kind of expand our consciousness and step into this new earth timeline. So get ready to face a lot of insecure foundations, a lot of difficulties within relationships that really are inflexible, and this can create a lot of aggressive defensive reactions. So I always suggest trying to see things and from the other person's point of view that will really add value to the energies. A lot of people don't like being told to do things a different way, and that's all based on these insecurities. So get ready to deal with defiant energy today, compulsive assertiveness, and a lot of emotional triggers are coming up when it comes to any misunderstandings between any communication breakdowns within any false karmic contracts. So the energy can be very belligerent, to be honest, especially in the family home when it's asking you to change your accommodation. So get ready to deal with self-centeredness without a doubt. A lot of people don't believe that they have anything to change about themselves, and that might become a little bit of a concern, especially if you are on this expansive journey. So let's jump in with some cards and see what else needs to come through for the collective. Self-development. Yeah, get ready for a negative circumstance to definitely intensify. It's kind of time to address these negative patterns once and for all, to recognize where we have neglected our needs, nurturing ourselves, where we have stayed stuck in situations that have really hindered our growth and our expansion, because we are encouraged to deepen that relationship to ourselves. When you understand your soul's language and how you work, what motivates you, that's when you can get grounded in the present moment and live a life of joy. So you might be expecting a message. Get ready to receive a message, but this could also be a message from your higher self. So let's jump in with the cards, guys. Purge and cleanse. Yeah, major purging. I do think get ready for some upheaval in your life. It's a very testing time when it comes to relationship paradigms. There are so many people in the collective and very dissatisfying one-on-one relationships, and it's kind of time to go after what's truly speaking to your heart and your soul. I think get ready for that moment of self-actualization with those North Node aspects in order to get you back on track and on the road to reaching your fullest potential. So, in order to do that, we kind of have to go into this purging and cleansing process in order to understand our core spiritual strengths and how to use them for our advantage and for the betterment of humanity. So we'll see what else needs to come through with the cards. Mental clutter. So do be prepared to deal with a lot of mental clutter, and you're going to have to be careful. You don't want to spend too much time up in your head in the energies today, because that's really going to leave little to zero room for that clarity to come through. So do beware with those Neptune aspects of a lot of distorted energies coming through. So you're going to want to maybe go into meditation in order to clear that head space. And there's that head and the heart. So it's that battle between the mental clutter and the heart. So the energy really is asking you to open up your heart, to understand the energies of this heart awakening, and to step into love, forgiveness, and compassion. To get out of that headspace, I feel it's kind of time to disconnect from all of the drama, all of the chaos, to go into a period of reprieve in order to heal and rejuvenate. So I kind of feel there's been a lot of signs and synchronicities coming through your guides, your ancestors. So you really need to pay attention. The universe communicates with us in very subtle ways if you are awake enough to see the signs and the syncs. So this is through numbers, symbols, prophetic messages, prophetic dreams, any type of signs that, you know, are like a synchronicity for your own personal journey. Pay attention, because there is always, always, always a deeper meaning to the signs and the syncs. And your spirit guides are trying to break through to you, acknowledging that many are facing some very difficult, tough situations at this time. And Spirit's there ready to offer you the guidance, but you got to kind of break free from that mental clutter in order to receive the messages coming through. Get ready to start living consciously. And in order to really free yourself from any heart chakra blockages, you really need to dig deep to understand where you're needing to offer forgiveness to another, where you are needing to liberate your heart from some pain in order to finally make that step forward to live consciously. You know, so many of us go through life not understanding why we do what we do, why we go down these paths. And we always have the choice to make a decision to live consciously, to not allow, you know, life to happen by happenstance, but rather consciously choosing to better your life and to make those positive changes. So forgiveness is always key, and we do not forgive for another. We forgive for ourselves, because when we harbor bitterness and resentment, it creates blocks to manifesting abundance in our life. So I do feel somebody here is experiencing very painful heart chakra awakening. And this is where you open up to your own spiritual gifts. Because when you find the ability to heal yourself, then you can step forward into being that healer, that guide for others, and heal others through your words, your thoughts, your touch, and your actions. So I think get ready to explore some healing work, whatever that means for you. But you are likely going to be put to the test when it comes to a very triggering, toxic situation in the energies today, in order to address these old negative patterns once and for all for that final release. And you know, as uncomfortable as it is to bring up these behaviors, these patterns that are needing to be corrected, I do feel the energy is saying the time is now. If you are to break these chains and begin to live life openly, honestly, authentically, and consciously. So let's see what else needs to come through with the illumination oracles. I think get ready for a major ending. The death of something very toxic that maybe you've held on to for quite some time. And I do think there's sadness over this loss. But all endings do lead to a brand new beginning. So get ready to transform a negative situation in order to step into these new higher timelines. And we need to remember, we are always the company that we choose to keep. So are you keeping healthy company? Because I think somebody's been hiding behind a mask, trying to deceive somebody in a situation. And I think there's going to be something coming to light, because it really is time to embrace these changes, to heal your heart. What is it that you truly been dreaming of? Because somebody's been dreaming of a soulmate connection. But maybe you need to make peace with the past, finally close and lock the door on the past in order to embrace these wonderful, miraculous changes coming in, because it's really time to heal that heart. It's really time to go into these emotions, to release them, to purge your emotional body of them in order to, you know, call in that high vibration soulmate, because somebody's been hiding the truth, I think, maybe hiding the truth that they're planning on traveling towards you for an opportunity. Definitely somebody's been wearing a mask and not being completely authentic. And whether this is a long distance trip or a short distance trip, I think somebody has been hiding the fact that they want to come forward and travel towards you. There's clarity in this heart healing. There's a lot of clarity coming through when it comes to past regrets. Regret, remorse, and shame really are wasted emotions. And maybe it's time to kind of take a risk in a new direction, because yeah, it's really time to embrace these changes. 2020 vision always comes in hindsight. So what else do we need to know, please? Yeah, I think somebody's been secretly making plans when it comes to taking action and embracing changes in a new direction. Maybe these plans have been set in motion since last September or October, but somebody is finding their passion again for life. Somebody is deeply missing you, and they've been stuck for a really long time, I feel. Maybe since last August or July. Either way, it's time to get back on track is kind of what I'm feeling. So we'll grab a couple past life lessons cards and see what else needs to come through. Gypsy. Maybe it's time to find your inner gypsy. You know, we are here to be those wondrous wanderers throughout our life. And sometimes we can lose that sense of belonging. Somebody's definitely been feeling all alone when it comes to a circumstance or a decision that they made in the past. And I feel this is really teaching somebody a valuable lesson. Somebody is being called to action, called to embrace this transformation, called to step forward as perhaps maybe a teacher and a guide for others, and to share the knowledge that you have found as part of this fulfillment journey. So we'll see what else needs to come through. Humility. You are encouraged to practice acceptance, to release any arrogancy, and to accept that we are all created equal in the eyes of God. So definitely somebody has been to war. I think somebody wants to fight for their rights for freedom and to step into their dutiful service when it comes to their spiritual mission. So I think get ready for that royal bloodline activation when it comes to your mission. It's the energy of being crowned when it comes to your mission in the higher realities is what I'm feeling. And perhaps it's time to specialize in a service that you want to offer for the collective, because there is a lot of angelic protection coming forward in the energies. You may or may not have children. I think children are being highlighted in the energy as part of your life purpose, and children are located in your 5th house in your astrology chart. So I think somebody is being asked to figure out what they can contribute when it comes to their life purpose, when it comes to these past life lessons, and bring them into the present moment. Maybe it's time to specialize in you know, some healing practices. I think get ready to control some negative reactions. Get ready to face some anger when it comes to breaking free from a negative situation. I think somebody might have been led down the wrong path, and somebody just wants to return home to love. And you know, it is through humility that we find that compassion in all negative situations. So I think somebody's deep within the void, feeling like something is missing, digging really deep to figure out what it is that they're seeking. And I do feel this karmic repercussion energy coming through. So if you have victimized another in the past, or created limitations, or resorted to some very negative karmic reactions, it's kind of time to pay for it in the energies. Get ready to reap what you have sown. And I think there's been a lack of communication, because all of a sudden my throat chakra is absolutely irritated. So let's jump in with some beautiful creatures messages. 2 of Pentacles. Somebody has been juggling for quite some time. I think the energy really is inflexible. It really is time to make that final judgment call. Somebody's been sitting on the fence when it comes to making a decision for quite some time. And I think get ready for a major disruption, a major tower. This is going to come in very fast. The universe sees and hears everything, and the universe never loses an address when it comes to some karmic repercussions. So get ready for a lot of upheaval in the energies, because somebody's been inflexible. And it's kind of time to find that determination to make a decision is kind of what I'm feeling. So let's see what needs to come through. Tower energy is Mars, brute force, scorpionic energy, and it's kind of like diving deep into that underworld. Four of Pentacles, releasing greed, releasing rivalry. Wherever somebody's been at here, there's been a lot of rivalry. There's been a lot of conflicting energies. There's definitely no victory or success in this situation. And with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, I think it's kind of time to embrace this transformation, to release any greedy miser energy, to take a leap of faith in a new direction. I think somebody's been stuck for quite some time, holding on to a foundation that really hasn't served their higher purpose. I think there's been a lot of outside sources creating all kinds of stagnancy, all kinds of rivalry, and there really is no success. I think it's kind of time to release the battle, because wherever you're at, there's definitely no more contentment there with the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups in reverse. And there's that Gemini energy. So somebody's been back and forth for quite some time between the head and the heart. And I think it's kind of time to find your idealism, to go in a new direction. Perhaps you're going to need to repose as you go through a major ending. The Ten of Cups reversed for me is, man, it looks great on social media, but there's really no joy in that foundation. And it's kind of time to release this. I think somebody's been living in fantasy land, in illusion, in a false connection. And it's kind of time to break free, because there really is no more working together. There's no more harmony there. And it's kind of time to embrace this healing journey. Yeah, somebody's definitely been in a state of disillusionment, in extreme mental anxiety when it comes to taking action in a new direction. There's been a lot of confusion, a lot of illusion. Somebody's definitely been wearing a mask, pretending to be somebody that they're not, pretending to be happy in a situation that really isn't serving them. You know, resisting stepping into self-mastery is what I'm feeling. Could definitely be dealing with water sign. There's some cups here, but I kind of feel it's kind of time to make that decision. Somebody's definitely been patiently waiting for somebody to find their determination to release this inflexibility. And I kind of feel somebody is going through a major wake-up call because they've been playing into addictive behaviors, and it's kind of time for that moderation. Get ready for some temptation to come your way that you might have to recognize. There's definitely going to be a choice between two. Somebody is about ready to, you know, bring forward an ultimatum. When there's a choice between two lovers, it's kind of like a choice between healthy soul love and toxic trauma bond love. So get ready for a major karmic rebalancing. Somebody here is definitely not reliable. Somebody here is very manipulative, not wanting to embrace change, unwilling to detach from a very karmic situation. Something is definitely way out of balance here, and there is a need to moderate your life. I feel somebody's been playing two sides of the fence, wanting their cake and eating it too, really not, you know, embracing a brand new adventure. And I think maybe it's time to inspect your situation a little bit deeper. I think somebody's been lurking in the background trying to find that clarity and that truth. Resistance, so much resistance to this change. And maybe it's time to face the facts that you might be dealing with somebody very unreliable, you know, a master manipulator trying to keep you stuck. They're likely giving to more than one. They're very generous with their energy with everybody but you. And they're gripping to control. Somebody is trying to keep another person stuck here, but there is going to be justice being served in order to get back into a state of equality, because this master manipulator, I feel, has been abusive and has really kept somebody from this transformative process. So get ready to be given or to give an ultimatum in the energies today, because somebody here is very unhappy in a situation that has caused them all kinds of stress, all kinds of stuckness. Yeah, because you're dealing with a very unreliable manipulator, Gemini, Virgo energy. And it's kind of time to, you know, get back in balance. Definitely somebody's trying to keep you stuck. Somebody is so resistant to change and taking a leap of faith. Upheaval, a series of unfortunate events. A lot of mental clutter, without a doubt. Aquarian energy coming through, Libra, Sag, Gemini. You know, you can only resist embracing these changes for so long. And somebody here wants to release this stagnant situation. And there's a master manipulator holding on with everything that they've got because they don't want to lose out on what it is that they've been receiving. I feel you've been overly generous with your energy. And it's kind of time to face that dragon, to face that truth. If you are to move on with determined action. Somebody is being asked to detach from a very toxic situation. And I think, you know, you've endured this toxicity for quite some time. And you don't have to prove it to anybody that you got the stamina to keep doing this. So I think somebody here is definitely finding their stamina, their strength, and their fortitude to learn this lesson. And I do think it is rooted in a toxic childhood pattern. That's my Jesus conscious card. So I think somebody's definitely been nailed to the cross. And it's kind of time to close out this cycle. When we get to the 9, you know, the next step is the 10, and then we start over at the 1. So somebody is in the home stretch when it comes to closing out a very painful, toxic karmic cycle, perhaps getting ready to step into independence. It is about embracing this transformation, and the rewards will come the second you break free and find that independence. I think get ready to go on a quest, on a journey. Somebody here is definitely in search of wish fulfillment. There's definitely a need to speak some truth when it comes to a missed opportunity from the past. Somebody's definitely been sulking, pouting, playing the martyr, playing the victim, suppressed. Somebody's been very suppressed in a toxic situation, going through a period of dark night of the soul, I feel, depression. And it's kind of time to break free and to have that forward motion. Could be dealing with a Cancer or an Aries. It's kind of time for a masculine energy to step into his authenticity is what I'm feeling. There's definitely a divine masculine here, the Emperor, stepping into his sovereignty, breaking free from a very toxic, stuck, stagnant situation, perhaps going through a major fall from grace for the resistance of these changes. This could be total financial ruin or a series of unfortunate events, but it's kind of time to embrace this transition. It's really time to embrace this profound life transformation. A lot of major arcana. This is universally driven change. Somebody's about ready to get in the driver's seat and to take control of their life again because it's kind of time for that forward motion to break free from this lack mentality. Somebody's definitely been playing into addictive codependencies, something very toxic, trauma bond. It's a habit, and it's kind of time to break this habit, to get out of poverty consciousness, lack consciousness, and to break free from a situation where I think there's no more love here. You're not emotionally invested. Maybe there was a missed opportunity in the past. I think somebody, you know, has a lot of fond memories when it comes to a past connection, and it's kind of time to shift that perception and to heal any past disappointments. Somebody here is dealing with a liar. Somebody's definitely not used their intellect, their logic, and it's kind of time to explore a brand new journey. Get ready to take the fool's leap of faith. To leave all of this past disappointment and baggage behind, to heal your heart once and for all in order to maybe go down the rabbit hole to find a new way of being. So get ready to explore your deepest, darkest desires and to bring that to the forefront in the energies today. So let's get a couple romance angels. This is very interesting. We'll see what else needs to come through with the romance angels, and we'll close off the reading with a few messages from Spirit. Separation. Yeah, it's kind of time to go through this separation. Time apart from this very toxic situation is without a doubt inevitable. You're going to have to keep an open mind. I think somebody, you know, has stuck with these expectations in their mind, and maybe it's time to, you know, explore an unusual type of person. I think somebody's held on to a toxic foundation, likely because of the children. Children likely have been affected. You're really going to need to pay attention to these red flags because, you know, somebody's been in the dark night of the soul. These two came out in reverse. So there's like this lack of optimism. Somebody's spiraling into a lot of negative thought patterns, and they're losing faith. And maybe somebody fears being able to come forward and expressing themselves because maybe this was a missed opportunity. I think somebody's waited a very long time for this soulmate connection to come together, and there was a lot of blocks due to the fact of some religious factors. I think somebody's upbringing really has affected their spiritual path negatively, and I do feel divine time says it's kind of time to heal your love life once and for all. So let's see what else Spirit has to say. Yeah, you definitely need to get honest with yourself about what is going on. You might want to refrain from any negative judgments. We all have our own timelines to walk through. We all have our own unique challenges and life lessons to learn. And we should never ever condone or judge another for their own pathways. So that's so funny. I said that at the beginning. So, you know, we always are the company that we keep. And somebody's definitely not been keeping company with some healthy people, places, and things. And they've played into allowing others to victimize them. And it's kind of time to choose to take your power back. Definitely partnership requires compromise, an open mind, and a loving heart. But somebody here is riddled with deception. This is a situation fraught with deception. And I think you've been struggling in this situation for quite some time. And it's kind of time to refocus your energy if you are to attain those goals for the future. So spend some time in meditation today to recenter yourself, especially if you're in those hallucinatory energies. And be prepared to create those very firm, healthy boundaries, because somebody here is without a doubt overstepped time and time again. And this has been a very difficult situation, and you are encouraged to connect to your own divine source, your own divine protection, and to allow the ancestors to guide you forward. And you need to remember, if a relationship doesn't last, the universe is trying to tell you it was never meant to last. It was here to teach you something valuable about who you are in order to expand beyond this lesson and to step into compromising energies with an open mind and an open heart. So open that mind and that heart and ask for that assistance from your guides, because your angels are protecting you and they're telling you you have nothing to worry about. As long as you can acknowledge and learn from the past, that's when you'll be able to open up the doorway to really get to know who you are, to get to know yourself, and to figure out who really has been depleting you. Why do you keep staying in this very dissatisfied situation? Because you've lacked nourishing yourself, and it's kind of time to honor your physical body. You know, because when we take better care of our mind and our body and our soul, then we can attract better in our life. So emotional vulnerability truly is a strength. So get ready for a major epiphany or wake-up call in the energy when it comes to what it is that you truly desire. Because it's kind of time to step up and be the leader of your life, to take charge of a situation, and to embrace this transformation as part of your equality journey. And that's kind of what I've got for a message today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please feel free to check out that description box below, guys, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.